welcome to Coffee with Dawni, where we talk about a different subject every day. Try to start your day off on the right foot. Today, I want to talk about boundaries and a new perspective on boundaries, because we all know boundaries are hard, right? A different perspective and what boundaries have to do with energy. So, here's a different way of looking at this. What if we had a boundary, a general boundary, instead of thinking of separate people that we have to have separate boundaries with, and that we have to spend a lot of time figuring out what those boundaries are going to be and how we're going to enforce them? What if we created one boundary for our life, and that boundary was, we don't put our effort, money, time, energy, focus on things or people that make no difference. Okay, so I want to go into this more, but I just want you to think about this concept. What if we didn't put our energy in all the different ways that shows up into anything that doesn't make a difference? Okay, let me give you some examples of this. So one thing could be video games. What if there's some video game you play that it does make a difference? Like, it gives you some downtime, it rests your brain, it actually makes it so that you can go back to work and do a good job. Okay, well, great, then it does make a difference. So go ahead and put some energy there. But what if it's just a time suck? Like, you're playing Candy Crush and you get nothing really out of it, but it is taking up precious time during the day. All right, well, then that would be a boundary where you would say, no, that's not making any difference for me in my life, so I'm not going to do that. That's the boundary. But what about with people? What about that friend who likes to talk on the phone for 3 hours twice a week, but none of the advice you give makes any difference whatsoever? Nothing you say seems to help. They just argue for their limitations and for their excuses and for their crappy life. And it never seems to help. Like, literally, they never seem any cheerier when they get off the phone. They never seem like they've made any changes. But you've just spent 2.5 hours of your time instead of playing with your kids or making money or, getting your house clean or anything. So, what about that? What if that was your boundary? That you're not going to have those conversations anymore because it makes no difference, right? So, if you think about this and you think about how much energy you'd be saving, you're not going to throw good energy after bad, right? You're not going to go somewhere where that you have no influence, you have no effect. Instead, you're going to take that same energy you would have expended there and put it towards something that will grow and expand and make a difference. Maybe you do have a friend that really you make a huge difference for. You do have a lot of influence. You are able to make their day better and give them hope and positivity and even guidance, and it works. What if, you playing with your 3-year-old, right? That is going to make a difference, both in the short term and in the long term. I see people who will spend 12 hours taking care of a neighbor and then come home and treat their spouse like crap. So what would have made a bigger difference to their life and to the people closest to them? Boundary. That's a boundary. And there's more to this, and in another video we'll get into stewardship and influence. But for this one, I just want to talk about this one concept. I want you to be thinking, and maybe you already are, where are you expending energy in any way? So time, money, effort, focus, in a way that is making zero difference for yourself or other people. So even if it is that you're doing something that gives you money, but that's the only benefit that you can see whatsoever, like you hate it, it doesn't seem to be making a difference, like you have a job that you feel like you can't stand and it makes no difference, unless money is very, very important to you, it may not be worth doing that. You might need to create that boundary. Like, I can't do something just for money. For me, that's 100% true. For me, I cannot do something just for money. If I have a client that I'm coaching, of course they're paying me, but if I don't feel like they take anything to heart, they make no changes, they're just as miserable today as they were 2 years ago, or even 3 months ago when we started coaching together, I don't want to keep doing that. That's not a great use of my time. I would rather find other clients who really value that, and who value the guidance and value my time and energy and effort, and do something with it. And that has started to become my boundary. So this one thing is changing my life. It has made me rethink who I'm spending time with and who I'm giving to. If every person and every project and everything I'm giving to is making a difference, then I get to build traction. I get to feel like there's a reason for it, right? It feels so good to me. I feel like I'm headed in a direction, that I am, really creating something. So your homework for today, if you choose to take it on, is to think of the ways, and preferably write them down, where you feel like you're expending effort and it's making no difference whatsoever. And for the advanced homework, where could you now take that extra energy and what could you put it towards? What's your number one focus right now, your number one priority? And I'll give you a little heads up. If you have children and or a spouse, that's a really, really good place to put it, to that or to your self-care. Right? Those are going to be effective things that are for sure going to make a difference. And last little note, if you are telling yourself right now that it won't make any difference to give more time and energy to your spouse or to your partner, that's a huge red flag, and you need to look at that. So let's start spending our precious, precious time where it matters. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference to my channel. And to check me out further, you can go to dawniangel.com. I would love to come to your event as a keynote speaker, come to your business to do some trainings, or even work with you one-on-one. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.